Hello there. At this rate, it will not take much for Epping, or in fact the whole surrounding area, to blow. As it appears the guy we talked about in Loughton yesterday was, according to the press, an asylum seeker or illegal immigrant after all. And, after being arrested and bailed, is continuing, it appears, with the same sort of activities. And just bear in mind, Loughton is about a couple of miles southwest of Epping, and Waltham Abbey, which we'll mention in a minute, is about 5 miles west of Epping. So here's what the Express are saying. Essex schools lockdown. Live. Manhunt launched for migrant with police chopper. A school in Essex has confirmed it is in lockdown as police search for a migrant. Now, when they say manhunt launch for migrant with police chopper, it doesn't mean the migrants got away with a police chopper. It means they're using a police chopper to search him out. I hate it when they do that sort of thing. But it actually goes on to say, a manhunt for an asylum seeker has been launched, forcing multiple schools into lockdown. Just a day after Essex police arrested a man who had broken into a school in Loughton. Detectives are once again searching for him elsewhere in the county. Laverton Primary School in Waltham Abbey in Essex has confirmed to the Express that it entered lockdown security measures at around midday on Thursday. That's today. So that sort of gives you the background to all of this. And it does seem to be the same person as yesterday as far as I can see, but not confirmed. And that's when no one confirmed his status. But as you can see, the press is now saying it is an asylum seeker or illegal immigrant. So what do you think about all of this, Richard?
Jeff. Good grief. You got a primary school. We've got multiple schools apparently which are in lockdown now, but a primary school we got little kids trapped in their classroom because if it's the same person as yesterday, and he was let out, then he was let out to wander around and go near schools again, and this is starting to get a bit scary. This man shouldn't be anywhere near children. He's already been ejected from one school, acting very suspiciously, and from what I can gather, he was arrested for, I'm not sure if it was public order offences. I might be wrong there. I might be entirely wrong there previously, that he didn't show up in court for. This is just a betrayal of the people, of our children. There's no other way to describe this. I mean, he was arrested for breaking into a school yesterday, if this is the same person. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's an entirely different person. But the sheer fact that they got police helicopters looking for this man now does give you an idea of the scale, because the amount of resources required for that and the manhunt that's going on. This is clearly the police are worried now, and with good reason. I mean, if you've got whoever it is, potentially being a threat to small children, I don't care what they send out. I don't care if they send out the SAS to find him. Whatever it takes. Our children need to start coming first in this country, because right now we just send them to school and hoping we'll see them on the way, later on that evening. That's the feeling that people have got. Imagine what those parents are feeling right now. They've gone to the school. Many have gone there and they've picked their children up, dragging their children out of class in tears. You got teachers who are practically these days forced to be bouncers potentially against illegal immigrants and asylum seekers. Is that what's going on? I'm not saying it is for sure, because you have to be very careful in this day and age in Keir Starmer's Britain. Jeff.
Yes, and one good question here from Double Drive. Why the F was he bailed? Now, people did bring this up several times in the live chat yesterday when we were talking about this particular or this area and similar events, and we haven't tied it all together yet, but it does look tied together to me on my first impressions. Why was he bailed? I mean, the guy they were looking for, or we told they were looking for, was homeless, living rough. So how can you bail someone who's living rough? You can't go and find them. Oh, where will you find them? Oh, somewhere in the countryside. Oh, right, okay, let's go and have a look. Let's go and knock on the trees. I mean, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? And when you're dealing with children's safety, is that not the most important thing we're talking about here? Is it not the most important? Or is it the rights of the newcomers and other people have rights that are... Well, that's what the government was arguing in court, wasn't it? That everyone who comes into the country has more rights than we do. They have more protections than we do. And that's being borne out. They even have more protections, it seems, than our children. Oh, this is just absolutely ridiculous. We need action. And it's got to happen soon. And Keir Starmer is too busy playing on the international stage to worry about this sort of thing. He's just decided that he's going to sign a deal so that all our youngsters can go to Europe to get a job, or they can come over here and get a job. That's far more important to deal with and stuff like that. And we've already got 1 million, according to the latest statistics, of youngsters in this country are not in work anyway. So, the whole thing stinks. Oh, and we're bringing youngsters, injured kiddies across from Gaza, so they'll get priority as well. They'll probably get priority over our kids in the hospitals as well. This is just getting beyond a joke. Just getting beyond a joke.
Yeah, if they want to treat children in Gazan children, treat them in Gaza. I think that's fair enough. Or put a ship offshore and get them to be treated there, as we've said before, Jeff. This is nothing again. It's very difficult when it comes to children from Gaza. You have to, good grief, you'd be inhuman to have no sympathy for them. But there's a lot of brainwashing that's gone on with children from Gaza as well, unfortunately, and we have to be careful what we let into our schools as well right now. Because I'm sorry, not all children are the same, unfortunately, because they come from such hideous brainwashing. If you see the way that they're raised in Gaza, what they're taught to do is horrific. Anyway, that's a separate matter entirely, Jeff. But I'm sorry, you've got children who are scared for their life right now, as one of the comments says here. I don't know how long this country can stay a cohesive entity for now. I really don't. I don't.
Here's Tartan McTwisted02 says, failed to appear at court and still released into the public domain. Now, this is a thing. I'll just compare that to young Tommy Robinson. If he ever fails once to appear in a court, they will never let him out again. All the times he's come back to the country to appear in court on time, every time he's appeared. If he'd missed just one of those, he'd still be in prison today. And he hasn't gone around doing what these people look like they want to do, or this person looks like they want to do. So it's just the whole thing is, and as Maria Riddler says, if anything happens to our children, absolutely, that will. I don't think the government realises that things. This is what would make things blow. It really would. That would just be the end. And he would be held responsible as well for his inaction. So,
I think the men of Britain, that song that's been played a lot now, that Richard Inman came up with, I think it was, brilliant song, Where Are the Men of England? And I'm afraid to say the men of England now are probably... in many parts of Essex right now, I'm sure the men of Essex now are going to start walking the streets together in groups.
I think they already are. I think they already are.
Yes, they are in Epping, I believe, now. But I think there's going to be more and more of them. And there'll be no messing about, I'm afraid to say, which we don't want. We don't want vigilantes walking the streets. Of course not. We don't, Jeff. And we would never suggest such a thing at all on the Jeff Taylor channel. No, 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 no. However, that might be exactly what starts happening. And it won't be because Jeff and I pointed out and foresaw it happening. It'll happen because the men of England will have made that choice. And I can't condone that in any way, shape or form. Neither can Mr. Jeff Taylor, because we're not allowed to condone such things, and we never would, obviously, because I wouldn't be saying it otherwise, would I? No.
No, it's... And as has been proved, this just shows why the government were pushing schools to do all these lockdown trainings. We didn't need this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't need it. And the only time we've ever needed it was during the Cold War because of threat of bombs and things during the Cold War. And that they thought they could help. Lockdowns in a school might save some children and all that. That was but this is an self-imported problem. And our society's cracking under the strain. And a lot of people have had enough. So, yeah.
I can't repeat Michael, what I've read on Twitter, actually. I can't repeat it.
No,
I can't repeat a lot of the comments that are coming through now. The anger on X, I should say, not Twitter. Well, whatever, same thing. The anger that's coming through, Jeff. I mean, you and I'm known as the angry Welshman on this channel, but I can tell you now, the anger that I'm expressing is only about a tenth of what's bubbling under the surface. And I think it's about a tenth of what's bubbling under the surface of most people in this country right now. I do think that, I'm sorry, that if the establishment think that this can continue for much longer, I'm sorry, they're grossly mistaken. They really are. Jeff, over to you. Sorry.
Yeah. Comment here, Michael Fitzharris. Afternoon, Jeff and Richard from Newcastle. Just as an aside, next Saturday, that's the 27th, there is is it the 27th? Yeah, it would be, is the sort of the official launch of Advance UK. Ben Habib's Advance UK is being launched in Newcastle. But don't try going to get a ticket. It's sold out. The affair is sold out. I've just had notification saying the room is full, standing room only. So
fantastic news.
Going to be a good thing. Although,
yes.
There will maybe the odd dropout, may be worth having a look. But according as far
definitely.
As I've heard,
keep an eye on the situation. Keep an eye on the situation. Yeah. I wouldn't say definitely don't look at going but just see what the situation with the room. Check ahead. Go on. Sorry, Jeff.
And Paul Smith says the official line will be, it will only be an isolated incident. And that is what happens every single time. The mental illness, all this sort of thing is played out every single time. And it just gets beyond a joke, really, doesn't it? As if it's to make us feel sorry for the person, for the perpetrator. That's what this is all about. It's when the Southport event, and they put all those photographs out of the guy, didn't they, in his school days? We're all meant to think, he must be the victim somehow. And that's how they do it. That's how they gaslight us. That's how they nudge us. And we should just shrug all that off and just say, no, doesn't matter how pretty they are or how innocent they look. Let's look at what they've actually done or what they plan on doing. So, anyway.
Well, Jeff, we do know that these, we shouldn't be tarring all asylum seekers with the same brush as what we are told we should. And of course we shouldn't. No. They've all integrated so fantastically into society. They're a beloved part of our culture and beloved part of Britain. As we can see in Epping, those people outside the hotels or the Bell Hotel in Epping, all they're doing is saying, we love you, more please, more please. We can see the level of wonderful integration that's taking place there. And we should not for one moment forget the incredible contribution that these people make to our takeaway services. I mean, to our country. Fantastic. Yes, whatever.
Someone says, Samantha Smith says, are they just waiting for another attack? No, they're just praying that there won't be one. It's, when that great figure, there's 40,000 people on the MI5 watch list and all that. That number dates back 10 years. I wonder what the real figure is today.
I didn't hear 72,000. I'm not sure. I might be completely wrong there. I might be completely wrong. It could be even double that, whatever. Who knows? Are they waiting for another attack? It makes you wonder, Jeff, though. I tend, because there's two sort of schools of thought on this, because if there is another attack, one of two things will happen. Well, no, one thing will happen, and that will be there'll be a massive uprising of the British people, and that's where that's where we're told that Keir Starmer will clamp down really hard, etc., etc. On us. Are you joking? I've been thinking about this. Yeah, he might try, but I mean, the type of uprising that I could foresee under such circumstances would be one that the establishment and the system would not be able to contain. And that's the worrying thing, because none of us want this. Because I'm sorry. Look, lots of you are really angry, and anger means you just want to go out there and just sort it out yourselves. And that's not. If you knew what was coming, there's a type of civil war that this country could enter, and it would be more horrific than you can ever imagine. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, if such an attack does take place, I would be unable to comment for certain reasons that I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah. Yes. Daniel Dayton says, I've been walking around the perimeter of my daughter's school. Yeah, I can see why you would do that. The trouble is, the police will look at you and go, danger, danger, alarm bells, and have you inside the back of a van and into a police station in no time. Yeah. So be very careful.
So there's one comment here, coward. If only you knew. If only you knew. There are certain things I cannot say on here.
Yes, and Misha says, can MI5 even do anything at this point? I don't know. I mean, are they as understaffed in MI5 as the police and the armed forces? We don't know things like that. They're not going to tell us that. But, and how DEI is it? That's the other thing. What comes first, DEI or the nation? I've seen so many, if you go, especially a couple of years ago when DEI was at a massive height, every single department in government said the first line was, we believe in DEI, basically, right across the top. That was mission 1, mission 2 and mission 3. And what's underneath that? Oh, yeah, defence of the nation or whatever it might be. Transport, making a transport policy, as long as it follows DEI rules, you know. And you just wonder, is MI5 exactly the same? I would personally bet that it is. But there you go. That's just me. Now, I'll just show you what...
another thing, just quickly.
Yeah, go on.
I always have to reiterate here is that, ladies and gentlemen, we must always be focusing on the political route out of this. Even though Dr. David Bett says there isn't one, an off-ramp, we must still try and push towards that, because we will do the right thing all the way through. And neither Jeff nor myself would encourage hatred of persons from other demographics or of any part of society. We may be critical of the actions of some people. We may be disgruntled, but we will never encourage hate of such people. And we will never encourage anything other than people taking the political way out of all this mess.
Now, here's what broadcaster Adam Brooks had to say. I've just visited a school in Waltham Abbey and can confirm that a lovely teacher confirmed that they are on lockdown. Worried parents are outside. I won't name the school for security reasons. The man is the same man removed from 2 Loughton school grounds. I understand police are actively searching for him. Now, wouldn't that have been a good idea not to have given him bail yesterday if it's the same guy? And you'd have him, and he wouldn't be... Yeah.
That might have hurt his feelings, Jeff. That might have hurt his feelings.
It might have hurt his feelings, yeah. It might have done, mightn't it?
Yeah.
Cool, we can't have that, can we?
No.
And
he has rights, you know. He has rights. Oh, yes, he's got rights. Jeff, of course he's got rights.
Yeah, and someone who is rather forthright with the way they think, as we all know, Tommy Robinson said, after Cal had put up emergency, it's being reported that the asylum seeker who broke into a school in Epping Forest yesterday has been found again outside a primary school in Waltham Abbey this morning. Tommy Robinson just said the illegal immigrant who broke into a school yesterday has today been found outside a primary school. Get them out before any more of our nation's children are harmed, which seems to me pretty straightforward. But there you go, that's just me. So, yes, our whole system is no longer fit for purpose. It does not protect us. It does not protect our children. Therefore, it is failed. It is a failed system. And that is the uniparty system. The usual vote red or vote blue, it doesn't matter which, we'll look after you. And they always add, every single party adds, only the NHS is safe with us. But it seems like our children aren't safe with any of you.
No, exactly. This is why I keep saying Ben Habib all the way. He's the only person. Yeah. Look, the thing is with Ben Habib, what we do know is that there are indeed. We know a lot of the people who are behind Advance UK, Jeff, you and I personally, and we think, yeah, fantastic people we trust, respect, good and decent people who are not compromised. And that's the point, really. We just want a party that's not compromised, unlike Reform, which is compromised. However, Tommy made a good point yesterday. He made a good point, and it has to be said. It's going to pee off a load of you, but yep, Tommy Robinson, he said something which I was like, yeah, you're right. I've been saying for a while, and that is Nigel Farage is almost certainly going to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Okay, there's nothing that I don't think there's anything that can change that right now, especially if there's an election tomorrow or sooner rather than later. And yes, things will be better under Farage than they are under Labour because things are pretty damn dire. However, is it the country we want that we will see under Nigel Farage? No, of course it's not. He's not going to go anywhere near as far as most of the British people want in terms of restoring Britain to the once great nation that it was. And that's why we are all looking at Ben Habib. And that's why we need to be supporting Ben Habib and Advance. We need to shift. But right now, politically, Ben Habib is, and Advance is and will be continuing to shift the Overton window along with the Unite the Kingdom movement. And that has to be remembered. That's why we need to focus on that. But the next Prime Minister is almost certainly going to be Farage. And I have very mixed feelings on that one, I can tell you.
Yeah. Now, as Troy Levitt says, Alex Belfield got 5 years for non-violent stalking. So it does make you think, doesn't it? Depends who you stalk. Really does these days.
Well, so, yes. Yeah. I mean, apparently,
Yeah.
Hanging out outside schools in these kind of circumstances doesn't seem to be. Well, I mean, he was just released on bail, and Rosemary said something. Yes, I totally understand your position there, Rosemary, and I don't put it up on the screen just because of the language, but no, I'm totally but I'm totally because
yes. Kai 33 cents says nothing wrong with the system. It's the people controlling it that are the problem. You've got a good big point there because the law gets written, but it's the judges that seem to interpret it in a completely different way than someone with some common dog would actually, interpret it. So yes, the people in power are the ones that generally tend to be the problem, the main problem. Now, I will just remind you, I said about this yesterday, but the Women in Pink are holding a protest on the 1st of October, which is a Wednesday, in London and Westminster. Protect us, protect our kids. We will not be silenced. And that is to coincide with Prime Minister's question time on Wednesday. It starts at 10 but goes on for a couple or 3 hours. So if you are able to get there to support them, please do. If this problem, all this and about the children really does concern you, please try to be there. And I'm doing my best. I'm making plans to be there as well for those few hours. Bit of a hike for me, but I shall do my best to be there. So
you're a trooper, Jeff. You're a trooper.
Do support. Sometimes I get out in the bed in the morning and think, "What are you doing today, you silly
You silly old git.
Yeah, silly old git. But yeah, so I do my best. But if you can, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, someone says they're not voting for that Farage. Yeah, it's a lot of people are sort of thinking that, but yeah, as City Gent says, sorry, if anyone fails to attend court, they're normally held on remand. If they're deemed to be either a flight risk or someone who won't turn up, they'll just hold them on remand. Now, when we had those Southport riots, the far right riots and all that, a lot of those people were not given bail. They were held on remand, like Peter Lynch, held on remand so that they couldn't get proper legal advice. They ended up not getting properly, as far as I'm concerned, proper legal advice. And they weren't given a choice or a chance. They had to stay in prison. They weren't flight risks. No, they'd never not appeared in court before. This whole two-tier system must be brought down. It has to be rubbled, I'm afraid, the whole thing. And if you want judges playing politics, then I demand they are elected by us. So that when the people in Epping go for an election for a judge, they get hold of one and they elect one that is not going to just let all these people wander around once they've been in. No, and if they get found guilty, wham. No,
yeah, that's such a good idea, actually.
Should work.
Yes.
If you want to do this, yes. Yeah. If you want to do this, let's elect them. I tell you what, there'll be so many go, whoa, I don't know, the thought of them standing for election, they go, well, how do I do that? Do I join the Tories or Labour? I'll be a green one. They'll all go to be green and Lib Dem, all the ones that are sitting at the moment, and they'll find themselves out on their rears. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if they want to play politics, get on with it and we'll elect you. That'll sort you out.
Brilliant idea, Jeff. I'm sorry, that got me excited.
It's American.
There.
That's what the Americans do.
We need to be telling Ben Habib this. Actually, come on, Ben. If you're listening, I don't know if you'll be watching this. I doubt it. But if you are, we need to get this in as policy. Yeah. In fact, anyone close to Mr. Farage there, if you happen to be watching, this is actually quite a good idea that Mr. Taylor's come up with. If you are going into power, at least do some bloody good.
Richard, you might be roping me into something at this rate. Don't. Now, Biat says, I like Ben Habib, but can we trust him? Well, I've met him, talked to him, and as far as I can see, he's as straight as they come. He tells you what he thinks, and the things he was saying 5 years ago or even longer ago, he's still saying today. And I put him in the same bracket as Rupert Lowe. I mean, they just tell it like it is, like they see it. Then, you may not agree with them, but, yeah.
It's a good comment here. Marvin G, Jeff and Richard, y'all are always welcome here in Texas. I tell you what, that's tempting, the way things are feeling in the United Kingdom right now. No. We'll stay a little bit longer for now. America is looking at Texas is looking so appealing. It is. Yeah.
Wasn't that who's the guy who comes? Oh, it was Alex Jones, wasn't he? He was in Texas, wasn't he? I'm not as sure if he still is. Yeah. The trouble is that neither Richard or I have got passports. We're not flight risks at all.
Yeah, we'll become illegal immigrants, Jeff. We'll see if we can smuggle ourselves across.
Yeah, the last time that we went abroad, I think it was probably in a sailboat, the big one, Yes.
Yeah, when was the last time? Good grief, I mean, I can't remember. Since I've known you, Jeff, you've never been abroad. You've never left England. Oh, no, you've come to Wales.
2002. 2002.
Right. Yeah. I went to Ireland once.
So there you go.
No.
Yeah. But there you go. It's all good fun. Oh, yes. Yeah. So, sorry, I think, wait a minute. This one here. Love y'all here in Texas.
There's actually a few comments coming in from Texas, Jeff. There's quite a few.
Yes, it does seem to be, doesn't there?
Yeah. Jeff, I think we've got a new market ahead here. We've got a new opening for the Texans. Honestly, we'll have to start covering news in Texas.
Does that mean I have to learn to ride a horse and wear a big hat?
Yeah. I would like to apologise to all our viewers in Texas right now if he insulted you, suggested that you all ride horses and wear big hats. It's just Jeff
absolutely.
Racially profiling you and cultural appropriation. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yes. Can anyone tell me? I tell you, I got into that. What is that? Yellowstone.
That's in America. It's close enough for you, Jeff. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the series.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
the American series. Yeah, really good. Yeah, I loved it. Where is it? Where is Yellowstone, by the way? I'll have to look that up. Somewhere in America.
It's somewhere in America. Yeah. It's like I'm in Wales, which most Americans think is somewhere in England. But that's
yeah.
But that's the way it goes. I mean, we don't. The thing is, a lot of people in America don't know what Britain's like in terms of the difference between Scotland, Wales, and England, and it's the same with us here in the UK. We don't know that much about the actual different states, the structure of American politics compared to our own. It's and that's one of the things we do. But we love you guys in America. We really do. Our American cousins, absolutely. Welcome on board. And especially Texas. Yes. I've got to go to Texas now, Jeff. Anyway, we've gone so far off script here.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, Carol Georgina says, I love Ben, but if an election was called, Advance wouldn't be elected, so I would vote Reform. It's quite telling, actually, that I've been looking at some of the polling on things like Twitter and other social media. And amongst the people that take a big interest in politics in the UK, the voting in those polls is very close. Advance UK is catching up fast with Reform UK.
Oh, it is. Yes.
And it is. Yes.
It really is.
There's less and less difference between the two. The only thing is that there is a lag between what the political people like us who take a keen interest in politics and do a lot of reading and watching and all the rest of it, news stuff, big lag between us and the rest of the population. So it might take a couple of years. But if the general election isn't for a couple of years, then I would say all bets are off on that. That's just my view. That's just the way I reading the room. But but it's a good point, a very good point. If there was an election tomorrow, I don't think we'd have much choice, really, would we?
No. No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Richard's Easy Van Life says, Jacob Rees, I think that's meant to be Jacob Rees-Mogg. Please join Ben Habib. I like Jacob. He's I've met him a couple of times. He's, once again, I mean, he's as honest as they come and just says it as he sees it. And one thing that always struck me was years ago, it must be now 5 or 6 years, he was going to give a talk in a room, and a noisy sort of pectoring bunch came in to try and upset it all. And everyone else stood back and, not me. And Jacob Rees-Mogg walked up to them and started talking to them. And it all calmed down. And I thought, well, there you go. There's a guy who's prepared just to walk up to people and have a talk. And he's got, we all know his accent, we all know his background, but he wasn't, he was just talking to them exactly the same as he talks all the time. He didn't try to affect anything, he didn't try to fake anything.
Right.
Good guy. Anyway.
So I will now, in the style of Jacob Rees-Mogg, answer the next question. And this is from Dan Steely, who's made, I tell you, such a clever question. How did that Brexit work out? Well, Dan Steely, I can tell you now that Brexit didn't actually manifest properly here in the United Kingdom. We never really had a Brexit whatsoever. What you'll find is that we were betrayed here in the United Kingdom by the Tory government, which I, Jacob Rees-Mogg, was a part of. Oops-a-daisy. But there we go. And that took place under the premiership initially of Boris Johnson. So here in the United Kingdom, I'm afraid we have failed to have a convincing Brexit whatsoever, which is such a shame because we could have been such a wonderful and successful nation. There you go.
Well then, I didn't realise we had Jacob Rees-Mogg on today. Now, this is a good one. Let's have some bets. Stompy456, Starmer gone before Christmas. Place your bets. Yeah. Especially as this weekend he's going to be handing Palestine's statehood as far as the UK is concerned. He's going to be doing it for us. And, yeah. I don't think that's going to go down very well in the end, especially with America. And the Japanese aren't playing that game either. They are not going to recognise Palestine in the upcoming talks. Nope, in the UN, when they have their meet and vote. They're not going to do it. So I wonder why. But there you go. Yes, as Hertz said, sadly we will have to vote reform. Yeah.
If there's an election tomorrow.
With that, you get the feeling it's going to be once again picking the least worst option.
Yeah.
What is it in British politics? Every single time it comes to an election for at least the last 40 years, oh, which one's the worst? We'll vote for the other one. Go. We can't say there's been no dream. There's been no vision. None. No vision. No vision for the country from any of them other than we'd better just let it decline a bit further. We better just dismantle it a bit more, take on a bit more debt, open the borders because we can't be bothered. They have no vision. This Labour Party has zero vision for this country other than being a landing ground for everybody else on the ruddy planet. That's all they've got. That's the only idea they've got. Nothing else. And when they get here, they won't be able to use electricity. We won't have jobs for them because we don't manufacture anything. What a bunch of... no dream at all. No vision.
Yes. Well, as Rosemary... again, we mentioned reform, and Rosemary straight back in you. Good old Rosemary. I like Rosemary. Vote reform. You might as well vote Conservative, lol. Absolutely. Spot on. In fact, there just seems to be an exodus of ex-Tories going over to reform. Granted, I don't mind some of them. I mean, Danny Kruger, I've got a lot of time for, actually. And there's one or two others I've got a lot of time for who are in the Conservative Party. But then there's others who are coming across, not necessarily sitting MPs, but others who have merged into the background and the machinery and the mechanics of reform that I'm not so fond of. These were very much anti-Brexit Remainers, many of them. And I'm thinking, what on earth are these people doing coming across to reform? What have we got here? So, yeah, that's the way it is. I agree. It's like if I was, as I said before, if I was to go into the voting booth and I'd be looking at, looking at the options... And I see, yes, Tory, Uni Party, Labour, Uni Party, Lib Dems, Uni Party, Reform, possibly Uni Party, but most likely to potentially do something. I think I put my X against Reform I'd have a lot of sick in my mouth doing it, but I would do it, unfortunately, at this point in time. Horrible situation, as you said, Jeff. Least worst option. Ugh. Makes me sick. There we go.
Yeah. Now, I've just found this because Danny Kruger, he's a Christian, obviously, and he gave a big speech in the House of Commons on that subject, needing
superb
Christian restoration. Great speech, but the trouble is he was giving the whole speech to an empty chamber. Because MPs generally don't believe in that sort of thing.
Oh, anyway, not in the Uni Party. Oh, no, we can't have that in the Uni Party. And that goes to show how corrupt and disgusting that nest of vipers is in Parliament that we call the House of Commons. It's just filled with everybody that is absolutely despicable in this nation. And the House of Lords is even worse, to be honest with you. They're meant to be our most noble and our best. Bullsh. Yeah, absolute bull. Yeah, I can't say too much here.
Yeah.
I have to be very careful. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Being
Of course
a good
you
boy.
do. One of the comments here is obviously relating to something back in the stream. Girls and children are taught by Hamas teachers. Yes, I've seen a lot on YouTube of the sort of things that they are taught and the sort of plays they have, and it just makes your blood run cold. These are little children, little toddlers doing this, and they're taught this all the way through. And yeah. Anyway,
it's dreadful, and I honestly think that if you're asking for those people to be integrated with our children, it can't. Such terrible damage has been done to those children right now. They're going to be. It's an awful thing to say, but you've got a load of children who are going to need complete de-radicalization, and to think that they're not radicalized is utterly insane. Because it's there for us to all. You can watch the children's television in Gaza that was put out. Good grief. It was horrific. And the things that they're, as you said, Jeff, that they're taught to do, to simulate, we'll say. I have to be very careful in my wording. What they have to simulate. Utterly. There we go.
Oh dear, we got another one. Talking about Tommy and Tel Aviv.
Oh, okay. Oh, whatever.
Yes.
They're welcome here. I mean, people very rarely do we curtail free speech, Jeff, on the Jeff Taylor channel.
We have had our moments when people
yes,
just
occasionally
don't just make a comment. They try to really.
It depends on the day, and it depends on what side of bed we've woken up on. But I mean, look, free speech is free speech, Jeff. It's just as long as I'm in control of it. I don't care.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll make great ministers, wouldn't we? Just listen to us.
I want to be the minister of free speech. And as soon as, I'm telling you, as soon as Ben Habib does get in, because he will in a few years' time, as soon as he's prime minister, I want the position of minister for free speech. And that's it. End of. Yep. I'm in charge.
Yes. That would be a great thing, until,
But I mean, let's just go back to the. Ladies and gentlemen, you started this live stream. We were talking about the awful situation unfolding right now in Essex, in multiple schools. In multiple schools, actually. I'm just sort of doing an update now on this. Just looking in the Express again. It's Essex Police Live. Parents take children home as schools lockdown. Schools, plural, lockdown after migrant spotted. And they are calling him an asylum seeker here in the Daily Express. The optics on this are not good, actually, whatsoever. Initial reports suggest that the suspect is the same man who was arrested yesterday, I believe.
Why have they allowed this? Just think about this.
Oh, Jeff,
cut it.
Jeff, hang on. However, Essex police have said that this is untrue and that there have been no offences, threats, or issues related to school. Hang on a second. To school property. Leverton Primary School in Waltham, Essex, confirmed to the Express that it entered lockdown security measures about midday on Thursday, today. I don't quite see what they're saying here. The initial report suggests that the suspect, who is the same man who was arrested after allegedly breaking into school near Epping on Wednesday, had attempted to gain access to Leverton Primary School. However, police have since said this is untrue. No offences, threats, or issues relating to school property. So why have they got the bloody helicopters out looking for him? That's what's very strange. And as you said, Jeff, this is a man who was released on bail, yet he is wanted for not appearing in court.
Else.
And also, an Essex police spokesman said residents will have noticed an increased police presence in the area. This is because we've received reports of a man sleeping rough and interfering with parked vehicles in Waltham Abbey, and officers have been deployed to find this person. Okay, so we're just
You're not
trying
talking
to be very,
about
very
diversionary tactics here, are you?
I don't. Oh, couldn't be possibly no. Um, so why are schools in lockdown then?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay,
If a school
and also,
thinks they have to go into
sorry, Jeff.
lockdown,
Yeah, I have to finish it. I think it's from the police and saying it is also important to repeat that no threat or suggestion of harm, either physical or otherwise, has been reported by any members of the public or members of school communities in Waltham Abbey in relation to this suspect. So why is the school in lockdown?
yes.
Yeah.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that we don't know, do we? Because once again, we have an official lockdown on information. And this is what leads to problems. It does, doesn't it? It's happened before. And the fact that a school has schools, multiple schools, as far as I understand it, have gone into lockdown, then why? What is going on?
Sorry, just reading something here as well. This individual, this I believe from the police, accessed an area of school playing field where he was reported to be seen looking in the bins for food. That is the extent of his reported behaviour. Again, no threats, no suggestions were reported, and the man immediately left when he was instructed to do so. Why is he looking for food in school bins? Okay. Oh well, not for me to
If he's an asylum seeker, he must have access to a 4-star hotel somewhere. Can't he just rock up at one and
apparently
get a
he's
room?
sleeping rough. I don't know. Officers attended and arrested him because he had an outstanding matter of Essex, a matter outside of Essex, with another force relating to failing to attend court over an alleged public order offence.
Yes. I mean, Cockney Brian has got a different idea. He said lockdown was maybe because the dinner ladies served cold puddings. What they were trying to do was keep them in to feed them with their cold rice pudding or their cold tapioca. Just like the good old days. Yes.
Something doesn't smell right here. I'm sorry. It doesn't seem right.
No, I know. Yeah. If it doesn't pass the sniff test, there's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very strange. Why are multiple schools going into lockdown?
Yeah.
Over
One
some
school,
homeless person who...
They obviously communicate. They obviously communicate, just in case. So, yeah. Because if it's happening to one, it might be happening to more at the same time due to other reasons,
but we must also yes, and to be compliant with the Online Safety Act and good and decent, respectable persons obeying the law in Keir Starmer's Britain. We also have to say that we must at all. You know, this poor chap, he was just clearly looking for food, and that's it. He didn't understand that a school was a school. The fact that he's been allegedly he has been cited, seen or spotted near other schools, multiple schools, is just purely coincidence. And maybe he thought that schools are takeaways, where you can get. He couldn't tell the difference between that and the McDonald's. Maybe, I don't know. Just silly speculation on my part, really. Not to be taken seriously in any way.
Maybe he wanted to do some. Maybe he wanted to do some night classes.
That's it. Night classes in the primary school. Absolutely. Yeah.
Darissa is now going to set the hairs running. Warm greetings to both of you from the southern shore of the Holy Land. You are truly impressive. You are undoubtedly on the right side of history. Thank you on behalf of the people of Israel. Now that is going to have them all, isn't it? all those anti-Zionists out there are going to be queuing up to have a go at us now.
Oh, wait for the comments. Wait for the comments. Here they come. Thank you so much, Darissa. And yes. Shalom. That's going to wind some people up, you saying that. But yeah.
Yes. And we still haven't received any shekels, have we?
No, I know. We're meant to be stooges for Israel, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. But unfortunately, They're not paying very well at the moment. In fact, they haven't
Like
paid us
zero.
anything. Yeah. In fact, it's actually costing us money on many occasions. So,
It does, yes.
yeah, okay. So,
Yeah, that trip to London cost quite a lot of money, I'll have you know.
oh yeah.
With because I had to stay overnight and things like that to get it done.
Ah,
But
people
there
don't
you go, it
realise
was
that.
great fun.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to see why is he trying to avoid the system? Well, I'll tell you what the official answer will be. Something about mental problems, probably. Wanting to live rough. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things. We just don't need to. We have enough people, homeless people. We don't need to bring more in, do we? Yes.
So apparently, then
We
this
can't-
asylum seeker was interfering with parked cars and trying to gain access to them. I'm finding this all very strange, Jeff. I don't see. I'm sorry. I don't see the connection between schools locked down, having to go into lockdown, and a man trying to gain entry into cars. I'm finding that very, very strange. But there we go. I'm sure that's all above board. And this gentleman was, maybe he was sleeping rough, and as well as you know, and he was just looking for somewhere to sleep for the day, for the night, whatever, and looking for some shelter. Yeah, there we go. So it's all been explained, Jeff. No, nothing more to see here. And yes,
No, nothing
ladies
at
and
all.
gentlemen, nothing to worry about. There's no need to get all uppity, as I said previously. We all want peace, and he posed no threat to the children in those schools whatsoever. And so we can now all sit back and rest assured that the authorities have it in hand, as always. And yes, and that's why schools are locked down.
All right. The latest from the Express is Essex Police Live. Parents take children home as schools are locked down after migrants spotted. So, yeah. Yes.
Well, you always take.
So there you
I mean,
go.
if somebody's trying to get into your car, of course you're going to go and pick your kids up from school, aren't you? If you hear about somebody potentially breaking or gaining access into parked cars, first thing on your mind, let's go and get the kids. Yeah, every time. I did it. Yeah, I've done it every time. Yeah. As soon as I saw somebody dodgy looking at a Ford Sierra back in the day, I'd be like, oh, hang on a sec. I better go and get the kids.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just doing some more checking here, Jeff, as you carry on.
Yes. Sorry? You're doing
I'm just
what?
doing some more checking.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what I was doing while you were talking. Yeah, so... oh, dear. This is just ridiculous. At the end of the day, we're now in a situation where we're teaching children to be frightened to be in schools because they've got to basically do these lockdown drills. How long before they're doing lockdown drills in their own homes? Just think about that for a moment.
Okay.
How long before parents are being told to start doing this sort of thing, or not take their children out at all out of the house? This is getting serious.
Some updates here from Adam Brooks from 20 minutes ago, relating to the, I believe, a tweet from the Essex Police. Adam Brooks has said, "I've not said anything untrue. I've stated exactly where he's been seen near and what schools he's been on site." This is from Adam Brooks. I'm not saying this is absolutely true, of course, because we can't confirm. Or can we? Anyway, I'll just move on. He's been on site at Alderton School, Davenant School, West Hatch School. He has been very close to Debden Park, Stables Road, Oaklands, Roding Valley, and Leverton School. And then he goes on in a separate tweet from 13 minutes ago. "Parents are fuming that they've had to find out from me on social media rather than from the school. The last few days have highlighted massive breakdown in communication from schools and police to worried parents. The statements are not good enough. 3 school grounds entered, 5 to 6 others seen close to. Now, of course, this is from Adam Brooks. It's not from the police, so we can't confirm anything because he's just a reliable source. We don't want to be quoting reliable sources and believing everything that reliable sources say, do we, Jeff? No, we don't.
Absolutely not.
But there
As
we go.
Sarah Logan says, I trust Adam over the police, etc., any day of the week. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no, Sarah Logan. We must trust the police first. They override everything. They only speak the truth, and that's it. And we must remember that. And Jeff, you and I cannot say anything else in Keir Starmer's Britain.
Yes, definitely. Lawrence says people are forming vigilante groups now. We can't allow another Southport incident. Yeah, vigilante groups are a slightly different thing to protection groups, I suppose. We just have to be extremely... Isn't it strange? We're now talking about forming a group of people to look after our children when we have one. It's called the police force.
Is that what they do? Oh, that's what they do, is it?
That's what
I'm sorry.
They're meant to do. That's what they're meant to do.
I thought they were the ones who came along and just arrested you for a tweet or something, or for offending somebody on social media.
Or if you have something stolen, they come along with a special number that you can get your insurance to cough the money up for. That's it. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. That Jeff. I didn't know that. That's what the police do. Okay.
No, nor did I, but there you go. I looked it up somewhere. It says something about that. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
There's Cockney Bryant says, Jeff, your mate next to you, that's Richard, by the way, spoke about concerns of kids the other day on your stream. Even my other said you can see the fear in his eyes. Heartbreaking. Yeah, we are all feared. If anything happens, the most valuable thing in our lives is not the Rolls Royce down the drive, which I don't own anyway, because I haven't got one. It's not the big mansion that I don't live in. I do drive.
No, you haven't got to drive.
It's your children. It's your children and your grandchildren and their children onwards. They are the future. That's where all our time should be invested, really, shouldn't it? In making the next human beings better than the present human beings. But at the moment, we seem to be trying our best to destroy our future, not look after it. But there you go. Just me.
I'd just like to go on that point a bit further. I have a young son, and he is the first and foremost in my mind at all times. Not Keir Starmer. The only reason I probably don't say many things that I would normally say is that I want to be there for him. I don't want to be in prison, and I don't want to end up in prison and end up dead, which is what would happen to me probably if I ended up in prison. Because I'd be a target, just like many others who speak out against illness. Look, a great evil has come over our land, and that's what we have to remember. And there's a lot of people who would like to see Jeff and myself, we've get many death threats, removed from this planet, and that's fine. Okay, whatever. But it's like this. The reason that I don't say certain things is because of my young son, and were something to happen to him or a school or friends of his, I can't say anymore.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway,
all I can say is the best. The only thing I can say is that our best wishes and prayers go with the people of Epping and the surrounding area, because they seem to be the epicenter of this whole thing. And this, as I've said so many times before, they're the litmus test of whether we look after our own people and our children and our communities. At the moment, it seems to me that this government is ordering us to accept everything that happens and to make the community better. That's what they want us to do. They want us to make the community better somehow, when they are filling it up with various undocumented people that we know nothing about, who then wander around our educational establishments. They're not interested in us one bit. Anyway.
Actually, Jeff, I wasn't going to do this. But I've just had a song request. And it's actually the first song I ever learned to play. It actually seems slightly appropriate. So I'm just going to disappear for 2 minutes, all right? So if you can keep the stream going.
Right, okay.
You do have a song coming, ladies and gentlemen.
This is unexpected because we had decided with this we weren't going to do any songs because it was too serious. And as Rosemary says, are you doing a song today, Richard? Well, yes, we are. And as we've just found out, we weren't thinking of doing it, but yes, yeah. Someone's just pointed out that Black Belt Barrister has just done a video on the American woman with cancer who's the police knocked on her door. We will probably be doing something on that later on as well. So it just annoys me. And thankfully, the Free Speech Union has stepped in, as far as I know. And as I am a member of the Free Speech Union, I have been right from the very start. When it started, I got my membership in. And it's probably the best thing I've ever done, really, in terms of the internet and all the rest of it, because it's something, it's like having an insurance policy. I'm hoping I'll never have to use it. It costs me money, and I'm hoping I'm never going to have to use it, but it is there. It's sort of like a life insurance policy. It's there, but you hope you don't have to, or someone else doesn't have to claim on it for you, if you get my drift. So that's what that's about. And so it's really great. And if you are in a job or you're in an environment where you're thinking, you feel a bit unsettled, you don't like talking about things, and you feel you might let something slip, become a member of the Free Speech Union, and it'll sort of put your mind at ease a little bit. They can't help everybody, but they can give you some good advice and all the rest of it. And if it is a big case, then they probably will step forward to help. But it's we're living in silly times when we have to have parents sort of paying council tax for protection for their children that isn't there, and we have to have a free speech union to fight for the free speech that our government should be giving us. So yeah. Anyway, here we have the man himself back, so I'll just hand over to Richard.
Okay, here we go. It's just a request, and I thought, strangely and perversely, it seems appropriate. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. Children hiding in the classroom. Leave them kids alone. Hey, leave them kids alone. All they know, you're just another brick in the wall. All I know, you're just another brick in the wall. There we go.
Very apt, actually, isn't it? We're all just another brick in the wall, and the children don't seem to matter, really. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
So thank you, Richard, for your little
just
interjection there.
Do it. It just felt right to do.
Yes. And I will say that on that note, please like, subscribe, comment below, and consider becoming a member of the channel. It all helps us to produce these videos and for me to get out and about a bit. I might be in Epping again on Sunday, not sure yet whether I'll be doing that. The next thing I will be at is the Newcastle Advance UK thing. So yeah.
Yeah, good man, Jeff.
And, yeah.
Yeah, we should be back later on between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, maybe a little later, maybe a bit earlier. Don't know. But we're going to be probably coming back and doing something a little later.
Yeah.
And lots of love to you all. And God bless you all. And look, there's one other thing I want to say. We just need to, at some point, we need to pray for this land. It needs healing. And Jeff, I want to finish on a prayer, quick prayer. Just like,
Go on then.
Heavenly Father, please look after our children in this country. Look after our children, because we know that a great evil has come upon the land, and we are fearful for them. And we hope that you keep us rational, and you keep us all safe, not just our children, but in particular our children. Look after our kids. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
There we go.
And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from Mr. Jeff Taylor. Goodbye.
Goodbye.